Welcome to Cribbage and More. My name is John. Today we're going to be playing Tanglewoods Gold, a game from Chip Theory Games. Chip Theory Games was nice enough to send us some copies of this game. Here's Comet. And today we're going to be playing the gold one, which we have set up on the table here. And if you're not familiar with the game, don't worry about that. We're going to get started and we're going to show you how to play as we go along. All right, let's go to the table and see if we can win. All right, so we have the game set up here on the table. We have our character and our die here, which Comet just kind of knocked over on her way to her little nook. Comet's going to be in her little nook over here watching over us as we play. But on the table over here, we have our map deck, our forest deck. We have our coins here, our gold. We have our merchants here. We have the bears. We have baby bear, papa bear, mama bear. And in this game, the goal is to defeat all three bears. Now, you'll notice that they're sitting over here separately by Comet. And what we want to do is we want to bring them into the forest deck over here, which we do by the merchant, which we have to pay money to bring a card into the deck so that we might actually get to fight them. And that's going to cost 5 gold if we choose to do that. So the way this game is going to work, each round we're going to pull cards from the map deck equal to our strategy, which at the beginning is just 1. And we are going to resolve any ambush effects and then pick 1. And since our starting strategy is 1, we're just going to pick 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull cards from the forest deck up to our strategy, which is 1 at the beginning. But we're going to get to choose whether we add them to our tableau. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to look for cards that have directional symbols here that'll match up to our map card. Once we added enough of those to our tableau to satisfy the map card, we're actually going to start an engagement phase. If you're familiar with 20 Strong, it's going to be much like those engagement phases. But what's going to happen is that we're going to fight all the characters and we're going to collect our rewards and all that stuff by rolling dice and applying those dice to the enemies. Now, when we do defeat a bear, they have effects on the back here. They have a good effect and a bad effect. Like, for example, this one over here, this is Mama Bear. Mama Bear has... When you purchase an item from the merchant, you may flip it to its upgraded side at no cost. And the bad effect is after adding a card to your tableau, draw the next card in the forest deck, triggering any ambush effects on the card, then either discard or add it to your tableau, which is not a great effect, to be honest. But that's why it's there. It's meant to give you a boon and then some sort of curse. All right, so that's an example of that. And with that, we're going to get started. I'll show you which character I decided to start off with. I'm going to start off with Goldie because, after all, it is Goldilocks and the 3 bears. The bears, her power is Shakedown. Each time you defeat a non-boss enemy, you get +2 gold, which is good because gold lets us buy things, lets us upgrade. And then at any time, you may exhaust 3 ready dice to flip. And what's on the other side is the more the merrier. During each recovered dice step, you may recover an additional die for every 2 enemies in your tableau. So that's a good way to get some dice back, some of these dice. And you do start off with about 17 die over here. It's called 20 Strong, but 3 of the die are actually status die. Let's put this back over here on the Goldie side because we do want to earn some money to start us off here. All right, so the first order of business is we are going to pull cards equal to our strategy, and we're going to pick one, but since we only have 1... Actually, no, the first step we're going to do is we're going to use our... We're going to choose a difficulty stat. So let's choose a difficulty setting. That's going to be near the back over here. Number 5 is look at the top 2 cards of the forest deck. You may put them on the top or bottom in any order. So we're going to look at the top 2. So this one and this one. And it's going to give us a little insight into what we could do. All right, so one card says east and south, so we're looking for those directions. And then after effects, either +5 gold or do not flip cards to nighttime when discarded. Enemies, and then on the other card it says north, north, northwest. Enemies cannot be bribed. And we get +1 to any stat at the end of the round. Neither one of these has a merchant. Actually, they both have merchants. You can't really see it because of the guide rails on my table here, but they do have the merchant symbol on them. So I think we'll start off with an easier one. We're going to pick this one here, and then this is going to go to the discard. When you put one in the discard from choosing in the beginning of the round, they don't flip over just yet. And what we're going to do now is we're going to grab this forest deck, And we're going to pull cards from the bottom one at a time. Our strategy is only one. Our strategy is one, so we're going to pull one card. It is a north, and this is a wither, or a wither. It's a 4/1/8. At the start of the engagement, flip one other active enemy from daytime to nighttime if possible. We don't need a north, but we do have to take it because guess what? We have no choice. Ordinarily, if you have like a 2 strategy, you could pull a card and then a second card and decide which one you want to keep. But let's keep going. For now, we're going to pull a card. This is a wild. So this one actually, this is Tina Fey. Why don't we leave both cards up there for now? All right, so Tina Fey is 3/15 and it's a wild. Anytime you see that symbol up there, that's going to be a wild. Each time you repeat the strategy phase, you lose 1 health. That's not super amazing. I don't really like that, but she does let us gain 1 random item at the end of the round, or when we defeat her, actually. So we're going to take... We already took the Wither, and we have to take Tina Fey. So we need 1 more card. We need either an east or a south. So let's go ahead and pull a card here. This is going to be a north, which, again, we don't need. This is Fury Toad. And it has an ambush effect, so we do that right away. Whenever you see an ambush effect, you have to do it right away. There are exceptions, and I'll mention them as we go, but actually I'll mention them right now. When an ambush card has you draw another card, you don't have to resolve the ambush on that card. Either set your gold to 0 or flip your hero. I don't want to lose all our gold. We could flip our hero. So let's flip our hero. And that one lets us recover more dice for... the more enemies we had in our tableau, which is not how I want to start off the game, but that's fine. So we do add this north to our tableau. We're starting off a strong round. We only needed 2 directions. We already have 3 cards in our tableau, so let's pull another one. Hopefully this is another north. Enemy clearing. So this one is either add the top enemy card from the discard to your tableau, or flip an upgraded item you control to its ordinary side. We don't have any items, so we're gonna, and there's no top enemy from the discard. So I guess we don't do anything, right? We can't really pull from the deck. It doesn't say to pull from the deck, so we're not gonna do that. But we do have to add it to our tableau. And hopefully this will be an east or a south. Please let it be east or a south. This is a Wren, which is a wild, which we'll do. And it says exhaust 1 die. I'm going to exhaust one of our yellow ones over here. And this says banish all dice applied to Wren at the end of the conflict. All right, so we are going to add them. Once you have filled out the requirements for the map, the engagement phase starts, but since these are wild, I could keep drawing if I wanted to, because technically you don't have to apply this to this if you don't want to, but I am going to apply it because we did not find any of the cards we needed, which is really a bummer. So what we're going to do here is we get to decide if we're going to bribe any of these. I think what we'll do is we're going to bribe Wren, so we're going to go down from 14 to 9. And we're going to bribe them. Whenever you bribe an enemy, it goes into the discard pile, but it goes face down. So I'm going to put that over here off screen so we don't have too much clutter on the table. And now I could bribe someone else. I could bribe Tina Fey or the Toad. Let's bribe Tina Fey. I don't really want to deal with her. But we do gain 1 random item, which is good. Why don't we fight everybody? We're going to fight everybody. We're looking for items. We're looking for gold. We're going to pick out our strongest die, which are the red and the purples, because those have 5 hits on them, and the purples have 4 hits on them. So we're going to pull these. All right, so let's roll some dice here. We do have a bunch of enemies. We only have 1 roll. This is going to be rough. I don't know if we're going to be able to survive this. Let's see how it goes. You know what? We're going to roll more dice. We're going to roll more dice. We're going to roll all these, because this is a lot of enemies. All right. Oh, that is not great. So we have 2 crits, 3 crits, and 4 hits. So we have a total of 410, which is not enough to kill everybody. Actually, it is. So we could put 1 on Fury Toad, 1 on Tina, and 1 on Wither, and then 2 more, 1 more, and 1 more here. All right, so we do defeat all of them. We get plus 4 gold, plus 4 gold, and 1 item. So we get back up to 17. And then we do get one random item, so we'll pull that from the bottom. It's going to be Stella's Scalding Porridge. On the regular side, it's Warm Porridge. After the Suffer Damage step, defeat one non-boss enemy that dealt damage. All right, we're going to keep that. That's a freebie. We did get our gold, gain one random item, any after effects that we need to take care of. This one, either +5 gold or do not flip cards to nighttime. We're going to do +5. We're at 17. We go to 20. We max out at 20. These all get discarded. I discarded I exhausted a bunch of dice. Now, when you're done with the engagement, all this flips over. And it goes into the discard pile. So these are becoming tougher as we go along. But we do get to visit a merchant. So we're going to pull 3 items from the bottom, and one of them auto-pulled itself there. We have root. Actually, these should all be on their side. So I'm going to flip the whole deck without looking. Boom. We could buy a stick which lets you deal 1 damage to a non-boss enemy if he would be defeated by, or it would be defeated by this damage, then set stick aside, shuffle it back. I'm a big fan of the root bomb, which lets you roll a yellow die at the beginning of the round, and then you're able to basically, if you land a crit, you're able to defeat 1 enemy. So we're going to buy that one. These 2 are going to go into a discard pile off screen. Alright, so we are buying that for 5. We're down to 15. And while we're there, I think I'm going to upgrade it. It costs 4 to flip an item to its upgraded side, so we're at 11. One thing I did forget to do is to get my dice back, so I'm at 3. I'll take my strongest die. And so we could also upgrade the porridge. We do have enough for that. The upgraded side of that looks like this. After the suffered damage step, defeat each non-boss enemy that dealt damage. That's kind of cool if you're tanking, if you have a lot of health. We don't at the moment, so I think we're not going to upgrade that. But we are going to buy back some dice. We could buy back some dice, or we could add Baby Bear, or we could upgrade a stat. I don't like having one strategy, so we're gonna upgrade this to a 2, and that's gonna cost the stat value times 3. So that costs us 3. We're at 8. We could do that again. 3 times 2 would be 6. Or we could upgrade our health. But I do like having more strategy options. This would cost 9 to upgrade, so we're not going to do that. We could recover more die. I think we're going to go ahead and upgrade our stat. So we're going to spend 6. We're down to 2. And this goes up to a 3. And we're going to mend. We're going to recover 1 die with 0 here. Boop. With 2, we're dropping down to 0. We're going to recover a purple. Alright, then this also gets discarded. It gets flipped over and discarded. We should have done that during the cleanup phase. Now, next round, we do get to see 3 map cards. So we're going to pull these out. Here are the map cards that I pulled. All right, and one of them has a shop. Starting on the left over here, northeast, northeast, east, north, west, south, southwest. There are no ambush effects, so I can pick whichever I want. Let's pick northeast, east, north, because that's going to be a little bit easier. We don't have green, or sorry, we cannot commit green to this when we start engaging enemies, but that's all right. We're going to go ahead and get started. We are going to get 3 cards, one at a time from here. So the first card we're looking at is a west. This is Straw Troll. No ambush effect. It's a west. We do not need a west. Great start. We do need a east, which this is. This is Bonfire and has an ambush effect. Each time you draw a nighttime card, you may pay 3 gold to flip it. We're not going to see any nighttime cards because the whole deck starts off on daytime, but we could pull it in. We could stop drawing cards and pull this one in. So we're going to pull this one in. This one gets discarded. So it goes to the discard pile. It does not flip. We start over again. We have 3 to draw, 1 at a time, and we're going to draw this one. This is a south. We do not need a south. No ambush effect, so we're going to keep pulling. This is a wild, which we could use, and it has an ambush effect. Add the next card in the forest deck to your tableau. This does not take place of this round's forest phase. All right, so we do have to draw the next forest card to our tableau. So we're going to pull this one. It's a false map, which is a wild. And what this one says, I'm going to put it here for just a second. When accepted, discard your current map and replace it with the top map card. We got ambushed here. Top map card is this one. This one gets discarded. And what this one says is the south, west, 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 north. Each time a fable is added to your tableau, lose 2 gold. But we get to upgrade a stat. Oh boy. All right. So if we the good thing is we don't have any gold. Right, so we could add more fables. If we add this one, we're still looking for 2 more cards. We could add the Wensley's Dale. Each time you defeat an enemy, you may choose up to 2 exhausted. That's pretty good for defeating enemies. We don't have too many enemies yet, but it is a card we need. We're going to take that. It's a little bit more beneficial. Or we could leave it. We're going to, you know what? We're going to leave it, and then it won't flip over. Because if we take it and don't use it, it's going to flip over. So we're adding this one. We have 2 wilds. This gets discarded on its daytime cider. So here we have, this is the worst card. I hate this guy. Fetid cheese guy. All right, first of all, why is he made out of cheese and also eating cheese? That is disturbing. Let's see, we have 316. Before each roll dice step, you must exhaust. This is why I don't like them. You must exhaust 1 ready yellow die. If none can be exhausted, you cannot roll. But it is a wild. We could add them and then just look for 1 more card. Should we do that? We don't have any enemies yet. We could use an enemy. It'll give us 3 gold. We would have to... Let's pull him in. I really don't like seeing him, but we're going to pull him in. Or we could have seen what else we have. We could see what else we have on the thing here. Should we see what's next? Let's see what's next. All right. You know what? We're gonna see what's next instead. We're going to pull another card. This is the Were Duck. It's a west. We do need a west card. Instead of reducing your health, that has an effect. It's a 417, so I mean, let's pull in the Were Duck. And this one gets discarded. Face up. Were Duck goes in, and we have 3 out of the 4 that we need. We're going to pull more cards. So we're going to pull this one. This is probably my favorite card, but not a good time to pull it right now. Meat Shield. It's a west. We do need a west. What this does basically is that it gives you another character's ability, which you add to your tableau or to your character here, and you're able to use their ability throughout the game. And if you ever get hit, you could discard that card, the ability or the second character ability, to negate some hits to avoid damage. But it's not a good card to pull right now because we don't have any money. I think what we'll do is we are going to see the next card. Actually, we should pull it in. Let's pull it in. We don't have that many enemies. Should we add one more enemy? We don't have a whole lot of dice. We're not going to add another enemy. All right, so we pull this one in. We're not going to have enough money to use it, which is a bummer. I do like doing this and adding a different ability. But we get to bribe. We're not going to bribe because it costs money we don't have. So we are going to go into the engagement. We do get to roll these root bombs. All right, so we're going to roll. If we get a crit, we get to destroy one of these characters. We didn't, but the good news is the dice don't get discarded, so those are going to stay with us. We are going to fight the Were Duck. They need 4, so this is a guaranteed hit. We need at least 4 dice, so we're going to roll these 4. We do recover 3. Or maybe we'll try doing it in 3, and then we'll use our second roll to assess. So if we need to pull 1 crit at least and 2 hits. Easier said than done. We pulled 2 crits and 1 hit, so that's 5. We'll put 4 here. They're destroyed. We do get 4 gold out of this. Beautiful. let's follow the procedure here. So we're gonna suffer damage. After effects, right? After effects is this +1 to our strat. It's now 4. We exhaust dice that we use, and then we recover. We're recovering 3. We're gonna recover those back, and then we clean up. So all these are gonna get flipped over to their nighttime side and get discarded along with the map. Map does not have a merchant, so we are not visiting the merchant. We don't have a lot of money anyway, so it's kind of moot. Then we go back to the top of the round. We're going to pull 4 of these map cards, and we're going to resolve any ambush effects. The only one that has an ambush effect is this one during the cleanup. So if we pick this one during the cleanup, we're going to set it aside instead of discarding it, and then draw maps in the next round. We flip all of them to daytime. To nighttime, then gain 1 random item from the shop and upgrade it. This is a pretty good one, but I feel it's going to be tough. Plus, there's no shop. I think we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do southwest west. We're going to do that because we need items. We need upgraded items. So we are going to discard these without flipping them over. We're going to start pulling cards from the bottom. We can pull up to 4, 1 at a time. There's a west. We do need a west, and what this does is it gives us assistance. We paid 3 gold, and we have to do that. Then flip assistance to nighttime and discard it. Boo. So we're going to pay 3 gold. We'll end up at 1. This gets flipped over to nighttime side, and it goes into our discard pile. And the reason it does that is because next time this card comes out, it's going to let us grab a hero, and then we're going to put dice on them. And whenever we pull dice, we're able to do their ability. So we'll put that over here, discarded. We start pulling cards again. Whenever a card gets added to your tableau, you have to restart. So I think we're still in the middle of this. So we could still pull. We're pulling 3 more cards. This is this Unshod Centaur 805 during the cleanup step, so it doesn't really affect us right now. Let's keep going. It is a wild. I could take that one. Here we have a north, which we do not need. Bribes cost +2 gold if we put them out there, but we're probably not going to do that. Let's pull another one. This is a south. We do need a south. Forest Dragon has +1 health for each yellow in the exhausted area. There's 1 yellow, so there'd be a 4, 1, 6. It's not too bad. We're going to add this one. The dragon. These are going to get discarded. All right, and we keep pulling cards. We have a south. We need a west. This is neither. It's Scent of Blood. During the suffer damage step, if you suffer any damage, suffer an additional damage. And then at the end of the round, you either upgrade your strat or your recovery, which is pretty good. We're going to add this. All right, and then we're going to keep pulling. We'll start over again. This is a north, which we do not need. For each direction still needed on your map, either pay 3 gold, we have no gold, or exhaust 1 ready die, then consider your map complete and immediately begin an engagement. Alright, so this one, we don't have gold to pay, so we're going to have to discard 1 of our die. We're going to discard this yellow one, I think. Is it discard or banish? It is exhaust. We're going to exhaust. It was neither. The map is complete, so we did just discard this, I believe. I don't think it gets added to our tableau. So we have these 2 cards to deal with. We have a dragon. We could bribe the dragon. We don't have money, though. We need 4 because there's 2 yellow that, shoot, I should not have discarded that yellow, and it gives them more health. Boo. That was not a good move. But what we'll do is we're going to, now they have 5. Wow. So let's roll these 3. We do have 4. Actually, no. Before we do that, we get to roll this one. If we roll for the root bomb and it's a crit, boom, that's a crit. They get defeated right away. These do not exhaust. So they get defeated. So that means that we do get the money. So we're up to 4. After effects, there is 1. We get 1 to our stats here. So we could choose either our recovery or our strat. What are we going to do? We need to recover more, so let's bump that up to a 4. After the after effects, we exhaust our dice, which is just... This one does not get exhausted because it was a root bomb. And we recover 4. So we're going to recover these 4 blue ones. Actually, these 3 and this one. Alright, so we recover 4, we're good, we got money, there is no merchant, so this card gets discarded. getting flipped, as do these two. All right, we need to start getting more money. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next round. So we have these 4 cards here. The only one that has an ambush effect is this one at the start of the engagement. So if we pull this one at the start of the engagement, if all cards in the tableau are minions, you may add 1 to a stat. That'd be pretty good to do, but I don't know if we could do that. Does it have a merchant? We might do this. This lets us upgrade an item, and this one reduces the damage of each one. These are all pretty good, and they all let us visit a merchant. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull... Let's do this one. Actually, do we need gold? Let's do this one. East, east, east. So all these are going to get discarded face up, or the way they are, which is daytime. And then we're going to look for east cards over here. So, and all the enemies have a -1 damage. This is a north card. We do not need a north card, but we don't have to pull it. Let's draw another one. We could draw up to 4 before deciding. And this is a wild, which would help us. Toad Warrior has +1 for each other wild. That's not too bad. We're going to add them. Their bribery cost is high, though. But they are going to do... if we get more wilds, we might be in trouble. We're going to pull this one. And then this one gets discarded. All right, so the next card is the East. We do need an East. This is Big Bad Wolf Spider, which is a terrible, terrible looking thing. It's 3/1/3. After effects, set Big Bad Wolf next to your hero. It reduces our recovery. Next time we suffer damage, flip Big Bad Wolf Spider and discard it. All right. Ugh, that's kind of rough. We could keep looking. All right, so this is East, and it has a ambush effect. When added to your tableau, you may flip any number of enemies in your tableau from daytime to nighttime for each enemy flipped, +1. I mean, that's not too bad. We're gonna pull this one. Search for Goldilocks, and this one gets discarded on its horrifying. I say horrifying because it's a half spider, like it's a spider body with a wolf head. That is pretty horrifying. But we are going to add this one. We have 2 of the cards we need out of the 3, so we're going to pull more cards. This one is Funnel Web, 5/1 blank. You must pay 1 gold each time you apply a die to Funnel Web. That's not too bad. We do have 4 gold. When we added this, we should have decided whether we flip this or not for health. Let's do that. Let's say we did that before we saw that guy. So this goes to 3. Comet is twitching over there. I don't know if you can see her. I probably cut to her in the editing. All right, so we do have that one. We could add them, but we could keep looking. This is an East card. This is a Bjorn, and it has an ambush effect, so we do get to... we are forced, rather, to discard these 2 dice. Exhaust. And then we cannot commit green or yellow if we take them. But it is an East card. I think between those 2, I'd rather take the Bjorn, but we could keep looking, right? We could keep looking. I think we're going to stop there, though. We are going to take the Bjorn. And this goes discard. All right, so we're going to get started on our bribery. We're not going to bribe any of them because we want to save our money. But this one, yeah, I think that's fine. We're going to roll our 4 finest dice here, our 4 quality. But before that, I mustn't forget, I shan't forget that we could roll this and possibly defeat one. We did that last time. Let's see. Boom. Nope. Zip. They don't get exhausted. We could let this one hit us because, look, the effect here is -1 to the stat of all non-boss enemies to a minimum of 1. Actually, boo. But this one will do 1 damage, so if either one of those hits us, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But we are going to roll 4 dice and see what happens. Maybe we'll get lucky. We rolled a bunch of hits, which is not super duper. Let's roll it again. Our second strategy, or second roll. Our second strategy. All right, this is a crit. We're going to apply it to this one. And then we're going to re-roll these. Hopefully we'll get crits. This is our 3rd roll. We got 1 more crit, so we can put them on there. And then these 2 would do that. But we are going to actually introduce another die and do our fourth and final roll. Hopefully we roll another 2 hits. We need 3 hits. I'm such a coward. Let's go, baby. We need 3 hits. Come on now. Oh, all right. Whew. 3 hits. 2 for you and 1 for you. So he's defeated and they're defeated. So we get 8 gold. We're up to 12. All right, these get exhausted. Any after effects? All right, so these are exhausted. After effects. No good after effects. So, all right, that was great. We got some money, but we do get to visit the merchants. These get flipped over. This one stays as it was because it was already nighttime. And then this gets flipped over and discarded. We are going to visit the merchant. The merchants, we get 3 items from the bottom here. It's a stick, it's a telescope, and it's breadcrumbs. I do like breadcrumbs. I know I'm probably going to take that already. 12, we're going to buy breadcrumbs. This lets you recover dice. This lets you deal damage. Breadcrumbs gives you money every time you add something to your tableau. So we're going to do that. We're going to pay 5. We go down to 7. Add this to our tableau. And then we're going to upgrade it by spending 4. So we're down to 3. So this gets upgraded. Yeah, sorry. So now it's upgraded. So each time, this is the magic loaf. Each time a card is added to our tableau, we get +2 gold, which is great. These get discarded. Unless we could buy one of them, we're fine. Now we could also recover 1 die. Let's recover 1 die. Or actually, did we recover any die last round? We didn't. We didn't do our recovery phase. We should have got 4 back. Should have got 4, plus there were 2 enemies, so another one, an extra one, because of Locke's ability. And then we could pay 2 to recover 1 die. You know, we're going to hold on to our money. We have plenty of die, I said, famously. So now we're going to pull cards again. We're back to the pulling cards phase. So now this deck is done, so we are going to shuffle this. We're going to give a nice little healthy souffle here. And we're going to see what comes out. We need to pull 4. We have 1. And we need to start thinking about bringing those guys in because the goal of the game is to defeat these 3 bears. So let's see what happens here. One more little rinky-dink shuffle. All right. And we're going to pull 4 in total. All right, so no ambush effects. So I think we're going to pick one of these. This lets us ignore ambush effects, but there is no merchant. We're going to do this one. And this one is a north-northwest. It says you may ignore ambush effects. So we're going to do that one. We're going to start pulling cards from the bottom here. The bottom of the deck. And first one up is the south. We don't need it. There is no ambush effect. This is an east. There is an ambush effect. Either discard your current map and replace it with the top map card, or add the top enemy from the discard to your tableau. Top card here says that flip each daytime map cards drawn with discard to nighttime. I don't like that one. I think what we're going to do is we're going to add an enemy. All right, so that's adding this one. It's a Brierne. And we cannot commit our juicy die here. Oof, that's rough. But we are going to keep pulling because none of these cards help us. Let's see. In motion tincture, either swap the values of any 2 of your sets or swap your 3 strongest ready die with your 3 weakest exhausted die. That might not be too bad because if we do fight the Brierne, we can't really roll our bad die, our good die, our strong die. We added this, so we do get more money. We get 2 gold for adding that one, so we're at 5. We have to do that ambush ability, so we could swap 2 of the stats. Now, all right, this is a really sneaky thing, but it doesn't say that you have to swap them with the different value ones, so you could just swap these 2, 4 and 4, and I think nobody would be the wiser. I think that's good. So we're going to swap 4 and 4. So we're not going to swap our dice, or exhaust 3 dice. We are going to pull that one in. All right, so now we have at least one card that we need. These are going to get discarded. So we keep pulling. This is a East card, which we do not need. And then at the start of the engagement, swap all dice in your dice pool with all your exhausted dice, which would have been pretty cool if we did that. Like if we had swapped all our these with those. Oh shoot, it does say we could ignore those effects. Shoot, yeah, so we don't even have to do any of those. We didn't have to do any of this. I didn't have to do that. Boo, but we did it. Boo, alright. So it just made things tougher for myself. Yeah, let's keep pulling. This is a South card. Leprechaun Man. All other enemies have a higher bribe cost of +3. It is a South. We don't need a South. So we're going to pull yet another card. This is the cost of readiness. You may lose 1 to any set to recover all your exhausted dice. That one's pretty good. I do like that because we could recover all our dice. Let's pull another one. We could see up to 4 before we decide. Oh, I think this one is going to force us add Thunder Gnome to your tableau. And we should have added 2 more coins for that. So we're at 7. We could ignore that because this map card tells us to ignore all the effects. But we do need them. We're going to add Thunder Gnome. And then everyone else gets discarded. We do get 2 gold for that. We're at 9. We could start bribing some people now if we wanted to. Alright, so we're going to keep pulling cards. We have 2 that we need, potentially. This is Gnome Alone. Add Gnome Alone to your tableau, but we don't have to do that with this map card. After you flip Gnome Alone, alright, so +2 gold. We could take them. Or we could keep looking. This is a West. Hatsumori. So plus health and damage for North and South. So it'll have more health this round. We don't need Hatsumori. Let's pull another card. This is Rock Fort. So basically it's going to make the health of one of these characters equal to their bribe cost, which is terrifying. We don't have to do it though. We don't have to. We can ignore that because of our map card. We're going to pull another card. This is the last card we're pulling. This is a North. And it says Undiscovered Plum Tree. +1 to any stat. Then discard the top 5 cards of the forest deck. Flipping all the... How many cards are left? 1... I'm going to count them without looking at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we wouldn't go through the whole deck yet. It is a North, which we need. We're going to take that one. Undiscovered Plum Tree. And we are going to do its effect. We're choosing not to ignore it. +1 to any stat. We're going to up our recovery. And then we are going to... We're going to flip all these. We're going to pull 5. Oh, discard the top 5. All right, so the top 5 are going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're all going to get flipped. These are all daytime, so I know they should be flipped now. All right, so there we have it. Our map is complete. We have North, and the Wild. We did add another card, so we add 2 more to our gold. We're at 11. And now we get to bribe. Are we going to bribe anyone? We could bribe one of these. These are pretty tough dudes, especially because we cannot... You know, we're not going to bribe anybody. We're going to roll... We're going to try to get them on the crit. So, this is stupid. This might be a bad idea. Well, we're going to roll this. This for our root bomb. Alright, no crit. So, no... they don't get defeated. We are going to roll... Alright, so we're only able to roll these, basically. Is what's happening. And hopefully it's enough. I doubt it's going to be enough to kill that one. Alright, we did get 1. And we'll roll again. Let's roll again. We need crits, or else we're not going to be able to defeat that one. 3rd and 4th. No crits. Alright, so... we don't have enough to destroy these guys, but... we're going to suffer damage. So we add up the damage, right? Alright, so we're going to add the damage 1 and 1... so we're getting 2 damage, except I'm going to flip this over. This after the suffer damage step, defeat 1 non-boss that dealt damage. So we're down to 1, but we do get to defeat 1 boss. We discard this. We're going to defeat them. So we do get +3 gold. So we're at 14. And then any after effects? No. So these get exhausted. We recover 5 plus 1 for these 2 characters, so 6. We're going to recover these for 5, 6. Actually, we're going to recover 2 yellow because we get to roll those for our babam, or whatever it's called, root en bomb. Root en bomb. So this, we flip these over. And this gets flipped over and discarded. And then, let's see. There is no merchant step. Shoot. So I really need to visit the merchant sooner rather than later. This, I would actually think I'm going to flip this. We're going to spend 3 gold. We're going to drop down to 11 to flip this. So now I'm going to get money when I defeat enemies. All right. So we are going to pull cards. For the only one that has an after effect is this one. Oh, all these should have been discarded. All right, this one has an ambush effect. At the start of the engagement, if all cards in your tableau are minions, you may add 1 to a stat. That's not too bad. We need one with a shop, though. We need to go shopping this round. That does have a shop. If we do this one, we're not going to be able to commit any blue dice. I think we're going to do this one. Discard the rest. So this one, we're looking for north, east, east, and south. All right, this is unexpected aid. It does not have any ability, but if we add this at the start of the engagement, it's going to help us. So we could add it right now. Let's add it. And then we are going to pull another card. This is north. We do need a north. If your health was reduced this engagement, gain 1 random item and immediately upgraded. Our health is very low, so I don't think that's going to happen. We are going to take this to satisfy the north requirement. And then we have Bertram. Bertram says, add Bertram to your tableau. And we've added 3 cards so far, so we're up 6, so we're at 17. And we're going to shuffle this now. I was hoping to get one of the bears in here before we shuffle. That way the bear gets pulled in, but we're going to have to shuffle this and without any bears. And when you're shuffling this, you don't want it to be... You don't want to do that, first of all. You want to do a good shuffle, but... you don't want to flip the cards over. That's such a bad shuffle. You don't want to shuffle the cards over. Yeah, I'll probably just cut all that out. All right, so we still need to pull cards. We need multiple directions. This is a north. We do need a north. We have one. We're going to keep pulling. That doesn't have an ambush effect. This is west. We don't need a west. So we're not going to pull that one. This is a north. Don't need a north. When enemy clearing is added to your tableau, so we don't do those things yet. Actually, we should have done this one, the west one. The west one we should do. Let's go back a little bit. So the west one we should do, which is gain an unused Tanglewoods Gold or Universal Hero. Place die on them and then use their ability when you want. So we could place one of these heroes. I think the one I want to do is this one. Ignore the rightmost direction icon on your map card. We're going to do this one, and we're going to add... and I think we'll just do it once. We'll add a blue one, because I want to keep my green ones or yellow ones ready. So we're going to do that one. Not a terrific card, but whatever. Do we need any of these? No, we're going to keep pulling. We can pull one more. This is a north. Wow, all the north cards. I think north is probably the most one. Yeah, undiscovered plum tree. We don't need any of these. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to pull in enemy clearing, and it's on this side, John. We're going to pull enemy clearing. We get $2, so we're at 19. And that one says, when enemy clearing is added to your tableau, add the top 2 enemy cards from the discard to your tableau. There's no discard right now, so we don't do that. Actually, when we pull that in, these get discarded, but they're not enemies. Oh, there is one enemy. So we do pull one enemy. Never mind. We do pull this one. And then if we don't suffer any damage, we'll get +2 to any stat, which is pretty good. So far we're fighting 2 enemies, or we have 2 enemies here. We only have one card that helps our situation here. So we're going to keep pulling cards. This is a West. Were Duck. Don't need them. We're going to keep going. This is an East. We do need this one. Either discard your current map and replace it with the top map card, or add the top enemy from the discard pile to this. There are no enemies in the discard pile. So we have to... Alright, so we're going to have to add this map. Alright, so we're swapping the map. So now we're looking at east, north, east, south, south, which we have one north. And then the new effect on that one is the health stat of all non-boss enemies is equal to your highest stat. Ugh. Alright, so we keep pulling. Actually, we do need an east, so we might pull that east. But we're going to pull another card here. West. Don't need it. We'll pull the east, so we'll have north, east. And we'll need east, south, south. We're going to pull this east. So they get added. So we should have had more money. We're at 20. We're maxed out. These get discarded. I'm going to keep pulling cards here. Our tableau is getting pretty big. This is a north. We don't need any more north cards. When drawn, flip all daytime enemies in the tableau to nighttime. So this one flips over. And that is... Oh, this one flips over. Alright. So we do have a north that we don't need. We're going to pull another card. This is a wild... Best Oak 525. All other non-boss enemies have +1 health. Oh, geez, come on. We're going to pull another card. This is an East card. Finally, an East card. We do need one of those. In motion tincture. Either exhaust 1 die for each card in your tableau, or roll your health die with the rolled result becoming your new stat. We have 1 health. So I think we're going to roll the health. All right, so we're going to do this one. We're going to add this to our tableau. Our tableau is getting wild. These get discarded. We get 2 more coins, but we're at our max. So we're going to roll this one, and whatever we get is going to be our new health, which is great. 2. All right, it's a 2. Great. That's better. I mean, it's free health, right? All right, so now we have north, east, and a wild. So we have 3 out of the 6 that we need. Alright, so this is an east card. We're going to keep pulling, see if we find anything easier. Bonfire. Non-boss enemies have -1 and -1. Alright, we'll take that one. Get 2 more coins, but we're tapped out. This one goes away. Pull some more cards. This is a wild Thunder Gnome. Add Thunder Gnome to your tableau. Remove Thunder Gnome from the game. Alright, so we have to add this one. Where can we make room? Let's move this over here. So add Thunder Gnome to your tableau. We could actually stop before we drew that one, but we chose not to. Because we weren't paying attention. There's so many cards, I can't pay attention anymore. Alright, so this is our tableau. We go into the bribery phase. So let's take a look here. Here's Comet back with us. Comet, how you doing? Here's Comet. All right, so now we are able to bribe. We do have a lot of money. We could bribe people here. We're going to bribe the cheapest one. So we're going to bribe Bircham Elder Trolls for 5. So we're going to spend 5 out of our 20. They're going to get discarded. They do flip over when they get discarded, but they're already on their nighttime side, so there they go. We do have 2 enemies to defeat, so now we could start the engagement now, which we probably should. Although we don't need much money. I think we're going to go ahead anyways. So this, at the start of the engagement, add this card to non-boss enemy with the lowest damage. That's this one. So he's doing 1 damage to this one. Alright, so everyone's health right now is my highest stat. So they're 5 and 5. But this subtracts 1, and 1. So this one's actually a 4 and a 4. All right, yep. So this one is a 5, 5. This subtracts that to a 4, 4, and a 1, 1. All right, so here we go. We're going to roll some dice. Before that, we do our root bomb. That's a crit, so we get to defeat one of them. We're going to defeat this one. We're going to defeat this one, and we're going to gain... we do have to pay gold to apply to things to this one. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. Yeah, because I don't want to spend more gold. So we're going to get rid of this one. They're defeated. I get 4 gold. So we're back up to 19. And then we begin. So this bomb helped me with that. These don't get discarded. We only need 5 for this one. It's 5 minus this, so 4. We need 4 hits. So we're going to roll 3 of these. We got a crit, so we're going to put the crit on them. We're going to re-roll these, hoping for another crit. This is our second strategy. We roll the crit, so that's 4, and they're toast. So add 1 random item, or gain 1 random item, rather. Telescope. So we get a telescope at the start of each engagement. Recover 1 die for each enemy with a hit effect or ambush effect in the tableau. Nice. So there it is. Free item. We got our gold. Any after effects, remove Thunder Gnome from the game. They are gone. After effect, if you suffered no damage this engagement, +2 to any stat. We're going to up our... Somebody's backing up. Back it up, everybody. What's going on over there? Let me check. It is the FedEx people. All right, so we add 2 to one of our stats. We got to maximize this. We could do our health, but health we could buy. Let's do this one. We're going to go from 4 to a 6 for our strat. After effect, nope. After effect, nope. This one... +1 to any stat. So we're going to do, our recovery is now 6. All right, so this flips, and they get discarded. There were also 2 enemies that we fought. Right, each time you defeat a non-boss enemy, we get +2 gold, so we should got 2 more gold. We're maxed out at 20. We really need to go shopping. Yeah. These all go away. We recover 6 die, so we're going to take these 3 and then these 3. All right, new round here. So we are going to pull some map cards. We'll have to resolve any ambush effects, which I already see a couple. We're drawing 6 now. So the only ones with ambush effects are these 2. So let's take a look at them. Enemies cannot be bribed, +120 stat at the end of the round. No merchants. No merchant. Oh, this has a merchant. Each time you suffer damage, recover 3 dice for each damage suffered. Oof, that's crazy. That's pretty good. We're going to do this one, actually, because we do need a shop. All right, so we're going to do this one. It lets us upgrade an item in our inventory at the end of the round. Plus, we get to shop. And hopefully it won't be too difficult. So we're pulling cards from the bottom here. We're looking for a north. This is a wild. Search for Goldilocks. When added to your tableau, flip all daytime enemies for each. All right, we're going to add... All right, so let's pull another card. This is Gnome Alone. So we do have to add Gnome Alone to our tableau. Shoot. All right, so we do have to add them. And when we add, we get 2 coins, but we're at our max of coins. Oh, these go away. These shouldn't be here. And this one gets discarded. We're going to pull another card. This is a north. This is pay to pass. Phantom Troll Booth. Ambush for each direction still needed. There's 2 directions needed. We pay 3 gold or exhaust 1 ready die. Then consider your map complete. We're going to exhaust 2 ready die. So our map is complete. Which means we don't need that card. We only have this 1 card here. So we're only fighting the gnome. I think we could do it with 2 dice. We don't want to bribe them. We do want to fight them. We'll get some gold. Do we want to fight them? We could just bribe them 2 money 3 money. But if we fight them, we're going to get some dice back. So we are going to fight them. We're going to roll 2 here, but actually, let's do this first. Yeah, no crits. At the start of each engagement, recover 1 die for each enemy with a ambush effect. They have an ambush effect, so we'll recover 1. All right, so we're going to roll these 2. I think we could defeat them. I think we got this. Whoops, that didn't count. All right, we need some crits. 2nd out of 6, 1 crit. 3rd out of 6, 2nd crit. All right, so we defeat them. We get +2 gold. We're at our max. So then exhaust, recover. We recover 6. So we recover everything. Flip Gnome Alone to nighttime. You may choose to set it aside. If you do, start at the next activation. Add them to your tableau. Let's do that. We're going to add them to our next tableau. This says you may upgrade 1 item in your inventory. We're going to upgrade the spy telescope to the spyglass. And then this gets flipped over and goes away. We do visit the merchant, so we're going to get some items coming out here. There's a stick, pleather boots, and root bomb. Should we get another root bomb? I feel like root bombs are pretty good. We're going to spend 5 for the root bomb. We're down to 15. We'll put it on top of the other one. And then 4 to upgrade it, so we're at 11. Flip this over. So now we have 2 root bombs. These we're not going to buy. We're going to discard these. We are going to bring in 2 of the bears. So we're going to go down from 11 to 1. Bring in the bears. We're going to bring in Baby Bear and Papa Bear. Baby Bear and Papa Bear are going to get shuffled in here. All right, there. That is nicely shuffled. We are going to get going here. We visited the merchant. We still have 1 coin. We can't do anything with that. So we are going to move on from the merchant. And now it is time for the next map. We don't have any more map cards, so we're going to shuffle these. Hold on for a second while we shuffle. Common is doing pretty good over there. Chilling. All right, here we go. So these are shuffled. We're going to draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mostly nighttime cards. Any ambush effects? These 2 have ambush effects. Let's take a look at these. Each time you suffer damage, recover 3 dice from each damage suffered. During the cleanup step, set aside the non-boss enemy in the current tableau with the highest health, exhausting all dice on it at the start of the next activation. So we're going to fight the same enemy. Let's try this. I'm going to try doing this. None of these go off right now, so we don't need to worry about them. But I am going to take the only daylight card here. It doesn't have a merchant, but it is a short one. We're going to try something here. So northeast. And what I'm hoping is going to happen, and I'll cut this part if it doesn't happen, but if not, I'll leave it in. For every 2 cards in the tableau not needed to complete your map, we're going to gain a health. So if I add a bunch of cards, I'll be able to get some health. All right, so here we go. We are going to pull cards here. This is a west. This one we do want. So we're going to pull this one. And it's going to give us 2 money. So we're at 3. We're going to start pulling cards again. This is an east card. We do need the east card. And there is no ambush. We're going to keep going. This is Papa Bear. We do want Papa Bear. So we're going to add Papa Bear. And Papa Bear says, set aside all exhausted dice. Exhaust the same number of ready dice. There are none. Then add the set aside dice to the dice pool. So I believe nothing happens because set aside all exhausted dice. There are none. Exhaust the same number. None. So nothing happens. But for this one, for Papa Bear, crits deal 1 fewer damage to all enemies for each bear that has been defeated. Oh, so nothing happens. This is a great card, first card to pull, I think. We're going to add them. We get 2 more money. We're at 5. This one gets discarded. I'm going to start pulling more cards. We don't have any cards that satisfy the map. The Voyage Dome. This is wild. All enemies have +1 health for each north on your map. +1 for each east. So all enemies are going to get +1 to those stats. We don't like that. This is a south. We don't need a south. If any other non-boss enemy is defeated before Noam Chomsky, immediately flip Noam Chomsky to nighttime. We don't need that one. Let's pull another card. North. It's Devious Darcy. We do need a north. Let's pull in north because we do need one north. So we're going to pull in Devious Darcy, which is going to give us another 2 money. So we're at 7, and then these get discarded. Pull another card. This is a wild. You must pay 1 gold each time you apply a die to Funnel Web. I don't like that, so we're going to keep looking. This is an east. We do need our east. This would complete our tableau. At the start of the engagement, swap all dice in your dice pool with all your exhausted dice. Yeah, we're not going to do that because 0 to 0, 0 to all the dice. That's terrible. So we're going to keep looking. We do need 1 east, though. This is a west. Angry Roots. Either add Angry Roots to your tableau or -1 each for each north on your map. So we lose 1 health if we don't add them. I say we add them. So we get 2 more money. We're at 9. Alright, so we're getting money as we add these. That satisfies the adding part, so we're going to draw some more cards. This is a Centaur. So basically this one, if we don't defeat them, it'll persist, and we lose a health if we don't defeat them. Alright, we're going to keep looking. This is North, which we don't need. We're going to keep looking. This is Gnome on the range, 517. All enemies with Gnome in the name, including this one, have +1 damage. We could add them, and then that'll be it. Or we could discard this and then start this engagement here. Let's pull 1 more card. This is Toad Warrior. Toad Warrior has +1 for each wild. There's no wilds. We'll add this one. Alright, and with that, we could complete our tableau. Alright, so we have our tableau north, east, west, and then we did add that one. I do need to update that and get some money. We're at 11, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We started off at 1. We're good. Let's bribe Devious Darcy. We're going to spend 3. We're at 11, so we're going down to 8. We're going to bribe Darcy. She goes away, flipping over to her nighttime side. Then we're left with these fellows here. That's the end for the bribe, so we are going to do this. We're going to spend 8 gold down to 0. And then we are going to... We're going to get 1 set-aside hero, which is going to be Beast, because I do like adding Beast to this. So basically, Beast lets our hits deal equal to the lowest stat. Our red hits, our lowest stat, which right now is a 2. And our crits deal double that, so 4, which is not bad. And then also, if we get into trouble, we can discard them to not take damage. So we're going to add them. And then we begin our engagement, which at the beginning, we are going to recover 1. We don't have any dice to recover anymore, so we're good on that front. We do get to roll these. We have Roots on bombs. Nothing. And then a second one. Nothing. Bad rolls. So now we are going to fight. So we're going to get our best die. Purples, this one. And we're going to see where we're at. We're going to roll 6 because we're going to be able to draw. We're going to be able to recover 6 plus an additional one. Actually, no, we're just going to be able to recover 6. So we're going to roll these and see what happens here. All right, 1 crit, which we are going to apply to Angry Roots. So we kind of want to take them out first. These we're going to roll, but we're going to add 2 more of these. Whoops, that does not count. All right, here we go. No crits, a bunch of hits. That's our second roll. We're going to roll everything. Actually, these, we might apply these, because these don't really have... These have a pretty good chance, so we're going to roll everything. We're going to add a green one. All right, any crits? Crit. Crit, so 6. And we might as well drop one of these 7 to defeat them. And we get +5 gold. And 1 random item. Rusty Trap, which doesn't really help us right now. Alright, so they're defeated. We're going to roll these. We might take 1 damage, but we need to defeat them. We're going to add in our greens. We do get +2 more gold because we defeated an enemy for Goldie's ability. All right, so we're at 7. All right, we did roll 2 crits, so we're going to apply them to Papa Bear. That's 7. And then we are going to apply this one. Sorry, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6. Actually, we'll re-roll this one too. All right, so they're at 5. We need some for him. All right, so here's our 4th roll, I believe. All right, 4th roll. We haven't rolled a crit on this one. I really want a crit on that one. We'll apply these here. So it's going to be 5, 6, 7. They're done. And then we're going to re-roll these. All right, that's a crit and 1. Except that it's 2 because of this. So 3, this one's defeated, this one's defeated, this one's defeated. +5 gold. 12. These get exhausted. We recover 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus, that's it, 6. We gain this, so now at the start of each round, you may exhaust your 5 strongest dice to +1 to add any stat. You can only choose one of the merchant actions each time you visit the merchant, and maybe you can perform it multiple times. All right. So we have a little boon. Then this one gets flipped and they go away. And so does this one. Any after effects we're missing? No. And then for every 2 cards in the tableau that were not needed to complete your map, so we get 1 health. 3. For these 2, we get 1 health. All right, next round. This gets removed, flipped over, removed. Oh shoot, we were supposed to add Gnome Alone. I forgot to do this. I forgot to add Gnome Alone. It would have given us a wild. Let's say we actually discarded him then. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll backtrack a little bit. We're gonna say that we discarded Gnome Alone. I forgot to add him to the mix here, but I think that's fine. All right, so here we go. Next round. We're going to draw some cards. We are out of cards again. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our deck. 2 ambush effects here. Flip all other daytime map cards drawn with this to nighttime. So this becomes a nighttime. And then this one becomes a nighttime. Let's do this one. -1 to any stat and recover all dice. So I have a feeling we're going to go through our dice right now. So we're going to do that. These all go away. They don't get flipped, but this is our map. We're going to start pulling cards. We need northwest, west, west, and south. This is the south. It's a forest dragon. Add forest dragon to your tableau and then flip it to its daytime side. Sure, let's add them. And then they get flipped over to its daytime side. We do have to add them. So we get $2 for that. Pulling another one. It's a south. We do need a south. Prickle. We could add Prickle. We're going to keep looking. This is a wild. So it says either exhaust 3 ready dice or discard your current map and replace it with the top map card on its nighttime side. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to discard our current map. I don't want to exhaust dice. We're going to discard our current map and replace it with the top map card with its nighttime side. So this one has, at the end of the round, after effects +1 to any 2 different stats. That's not too bad. And we already have a south, which we need. All right, so are we keeping either one of these? We should probably keep the map because it does give us a wild. This gets discarded. Let's keep going. We got south, cost of readiness, -1 to start to recover all your dice. We're going to add that one, I think, because we could recover all our dice at the end of the round. Let's add that. We don't need another south, though. All right, this is a west, starting over. We do need a west. They get +1 for every north and south. Oof. So they're going to be strong. Let's keep looking. This is a south. Each time you defeat an enemy, you may choose up to 2 exhausted dice to commit. Immediately roll and optionally apply. Any result not applied is returned to the exhausted area. All right, sweet. We're going to choose that one. It is a south, but it is helpful. Discard that one. All other enemies have +3. That's rough. We're going to pull another card. Plus, we don't need another south. This is Rock Fort. We apply it to an enemy, and basically their health becomes, their bribery cost becomes their health. So we're going to add it to the Forest Dragon. So their health is now 6. And since we added a card here that does satisfy our effect, so this guy gets discarded. I think Papa Bear should be coming out, or Baby Bear should be coming out. So Tina Fey, it's an East card. We do need 1 East. But we can, we're going to keep looking. We don't really need an East, because we can actually discard this and ignore the rightmost. This is a West. We do need a West. Ren, return all banished dice to your pool. We don't have any banished dice. Let's pull another one. Fetid Cheese Guy. Ugh, I hate this guy. I already told you I hated this guy. I'm going to take the West. Actually, let's pull more cards. Scent of Blood. During the suffer damage step, if you suffer any damage, lose 2 damage. Oof. But we get to increase our stats. Our stats are already maxed, so we don't need that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5, Baby Bear. We're going to add Baby Bear. So we're adding Baby Bear. These get all discarded. Baby Bear says, immediately draw 4 forest cards. For each enemy drawn, either add the enemy to your tableau or -1 to any stat. All right, so we're going to draw 4 cards. This is Disorienting Fog. It has an ambush effect. It says add the next card in the forest deck to your tableau. There is no card. We're going to have to shuffle. Oof, I was hoping to get Papa Bear in there before. Yeah, I was hoping to get Papa Bear in there before we had to shuffle, but with a 6 strategy, you're cycling through your deck pretty quickly. All right, so it says add the next card in the forest deck to your tableau. So this is East. Either exhaust 1 die for each card in your tableau. All right, so since an ambush effect caused us to draw that, we don't do this. So we add this card, but we don't do this because it was an ambush card that brought this card out, so we don't do that. This gets discarded. We're still drawing cards. That was the first card we draw, so now we draw another one. So we need 3 more. This is Toad Warrior. Toad Warrior, we're going to add them. All right, so Toad Warrior gets added. That's their second card. Third card is this one. This gets discarded. I'm pretty sure we don't need to do these because here it says Baby Bear, immediately draw 4 forest cards for each enemy drawn. Either add the enemy to your tableau. But that's an ambush effect asking us to draw a card. And in the rule book, it says ambush effects. If an ambush effect causes a new ambush effect to be revealed, such as requiring a card to be flipped or forcing a new draw, those new effects do not activate. Yeah, so if you're flipping a card or forcing a new draw, those effects do not activate. So all this stuff just gets discarded, I believe. That's the third one. One more. It's not an enemy, so it gets discarded. Okay, so Baby Bear is in. Baby Bear has +1. And +1 for each non-boss enemy in the tableau, including defeated enemies. All right. This is Scent of Blood. It doesn't really help us. So we're going to keep pulling. This is a West. We do need a West. And we're going to add that one. So we're fighting a Ren. All right. So we're going to discard this. And we're going to pull another card. This is another East. We don't need an East card anymore. We're looking for West. This is a West. Either add Angry Roots to your tableau or lose 1 health for each north on the current map. There's one more. Should we lose a health? I think we're going to need health. We're going to add them. We need the West anyways. So we have 2 Wests. So we need more cards. This gets discarded. We need more cards. We're going to keep pulling here. This is a West. I do believe we need a West. So this one's going to let us add another hero to our card. That's pretty cool. All right. So basically what's happening here, I did forget to add 2 for each card. And I think we've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should be maxed out at 20 anyways. From 15 to 20 for sure. We'll update that. It's a good thing there's a cap. And I think this is the last card we need. It's west. That would be west, 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 north, south, east. Yeah. So we're going to add this one, Meat Shield. And we'll be able to add another character if we want. But we might need the money for bribing because there are a lot of enemies on here. We're going to start the bribery phase. We do have 20 money. So I think we should probably bribe some of these. And this guy's pretty tough. We're going to bribe this one for 10. We're going to discard it. I think that's all we're going to bribe. Oh, this one, we might bribe this one. We should bribe this one. 6. So we're dropping them down, dropping our gold down to 4, and they get discarded. And I believe they take Rock Fort with them. Pretty sure they do. They get bribed because their health is 6. We don't really want to deal with that. So they get discarded. That flips over. I don't think we're going to bribe anyone else. Let's put our enemies over here. We're going to start with the engagement phase. All right, so we're going to start the engagement. This one lets me recover 2 dice for each enemy with a ambush. This is 1, 2. So we recover 4. All right, and then we could do, this Rusty Trap. I think we got rid of whoever was the first enemy we placed. So this Rusty Trap should have come back to us. We get to roll this, looking for crits. No crit, come on. No crits, boo. All right, so we got our dice. All right, so we're going to roll, we're going to roll pretty much all our good stuff here. Yeah, let's roll these and see where we're at. All right, so excellent. We rolled our red is a crit. So we're going to look at that first. And for Wild at Heart, this equals double the stat of this, our lowest. So it's 6. This is a 6. We're going to put it on Baby Bear. Baby Bear has 1 additional health for each non-boss, so 1, 2. So they're at 6. That defeats Baby Bear. Any other crits? No. We're going to apply these 2 blue ones to one of them. And we're going to re-roll these plus these. Actually, we're going to do this. We're going to roll all of these again. We're looking for crits. We want crits, baby. We don't want soggy hits. We want crits. So this is 2, 4. That defeats them. Actually, we'll do 3 here for them. And we'll re-roll these. That's our third. That's our second roll. No more crits. But we could re-roll. This will be our 4th. This is our 4th. We got some crits, 2 crits here. So that's 3, 4, and done. All right, so we get 5 gold, 5 gold, 10 gold, plus 4. So we get 14, up to 18. All right. And then we exhaust these. We recover 6, so we're going to recover our strong die. That's going to be 4, 5, 6. These go away. Any after effects, return all banished dice to your dice pool. You may lose 1 to a stat to recover all exhausted dice. There's not that many left in there, so we're not going to do that. Plus 1 to any 2 different stats. It's going to be 1 for our health. Everything else is maxed out. And I think those are all the after effects. We could do this. We could add a 3rd ability now because it's at the start or end of the engagement, which is now, or after we visit the merchant. All right, so we are going to visit the merchant. These are going to go away. We get Baby Bear. So now for Baby Bear, you may treat every map as if it has merchant ability. At the end of each activation, if no daytime cards are drawn, this activation -1. So we add that to our boons over here. We are going to visit the merchant, but first we're going to clean up, flip. And these are all nighttime. Visit the merchant. We'll get 3 items out. Rusty trap, don't want it. Stick, don't want it. Whetstone, we might want it. If we get the whetstone, if we put like a yellow die, any die that we put there. Oh, but we can only do 1 action. So remember, you can only choose one of the merchant actions each time you visit the merchant. You may perform that action multiple times. So actually, we can only do 1 thing, and we really want to do the baits. We want to get this one into our deck. So we're going to do baits. We're going to spend 5. We're at 13. It's going to go here. And then we are going to... We're not going to buy any of these. Discard. We can't bait anymore, which is the only thing we could do. We are going to move on to the next phase. But actually, the meat shield did let us... After the engagement phase, which is now, after the visiting the merchant phase is over, step is over, we get to do that, if you remember this card here. At the start of the end of the engagement, we're going to pay 8 gold to get another 13 to 5. We're going to get another ability here. So this one is Lollipop Liquor. You may treat north and south on forest cards interchangeably. So there we have it. We are going to pull some more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's check for any ambush. All right, we're going to do this one. This gets discarded. It's from the last one. But now we're going to do this one, which does have an ambush ability. Each time you suffer damage, recover 3 dice for each damage suffered. We're looking for south, so let's get started. We did not shuffle Mama Bear in. We're going to shuffle her in right now. Where's Mama Bear? I don't know where Mama Bear is, but I know where Comet is, and Comet's right there. She's sleeping. All right, so here we go. Hopefully Mama Bear is somewhere near the bottom so we could pull her out. All right, so we're looking for south. Here is a wild. Gnome alone. Immediately discard all non-boss cards from your tableau and add Gnome Alone to your tableau. We're going to add Gnome Alone. All right, and we get 2 money. All right, this is a wild, or sorry, this is a west. We don't need west. Doesn't have an ambush. This is a south. We could use a south. Prickle. We probably could add Prickle. Let's draw another one. This is east. We do need 1 east. Non-boss enemies have -1 and -1. Yep, we're going to use that one. So that goes in. We get 2 money. 9. These get discarded. We start over. This is north. Ooh, Phantom Troll Booth. Shoot. All right, so this is bad. For each direction still needed on your map, we need 3. Either pay 3 gold or exhaust 1 ready die, then consider your map complete and immediately begin an engagement. We're going to discard 3 die. 1 for each direction needed. All right, so now this gets out of the game, but we begin the engagement. All right, so we're going to commit dice. That's a 6. We only need probably 3, and it's a -1. So we're going to roll this. Whoops. We're going to roll 4. This is a 4, and 2 more. It's a 4 because of Wild at Heart. So we defeat them. We get 1 random item. It's Birch Bark. So Birch Bark lets us put blue dice on it, and it'll help us negate damage. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put 1. Anytime we defeat an enemy, we get 2 gold. So we're at 11. These get exhausted. We do recover 6. So we have these. Let's recover these. All right. And then I believe that's it. If Gnome Alone is defeated, remove it from the game. And that is it. This gets discarded, and this one gets discarded. No merchants, but we did get some money. Next engagement here, or next map phase. Any ambush abilities, each time you suffer damage, recover 3 dice. We did that one just now during cleanup. Nothing that we need to really pay attention to this round, but our merchant ones are these 3. So these are the ones we want to pick from, because we do want to do 1 more merchant, hopefully get some health or something. So this one's out. We're not going to pick this one because it would have us pay money. We are going to pick this one. Actually, we'll do this one. All right, so we're going to do this one. It's west, south, south, east, east, and north. And we're going to start pulling cards for it right now. This is a north. We do need a north. When drawn, flip all daytime enemies. There are none. We're going to add it. Actually, we're not going to add it. We're going to keep going because I do want to find the next bear. So this is a wild. We could add that one. This is the Voyage Dome. All enemies have +1 for each. That makes them tougher. It's going to make them a little bit tougher and do more damage. So we probably... all the cards are falling off here. That's 3. This is the south. Bertram. When Bertram is added to your tableau, either flip your current map to nighttime or discard your current map and replace it. I don't want to do that. 5 and 6. This is the last one. Noam Chomsky. All right, so we got to add one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we have one more we could pull. We have 5 in hand. We could pull one more from the bottom here. Unexpected aid. Which are the most difficult to get? I feel like east are kind of hard to get. All right, so we're going to take this north. When drawn, flip all daytime enemies in your tableau to nighttime. There are no enemies in our tableau. All right, we do get 2 money, so we're at 13. All right, let's pull some more cards. This is south, which we could use. All other enemies have +3. This is an east card. This is another east card. We're not going to choose this one because it'll have us swap our exhausted with our ready. I don't want to do that. This is a wild. It's card number 4. And Mama Bear. So we're going to pick Mama Bear from these. Mama Bear comes out. These get discarded. So we pulled Mama Bear. We're trying to look for her, which is good. Lose half your gold rounded up. Oh, shoot. I have 13. So that's going to be 6.5, 7 rounded up. So we're down to 6. I don't know if I did the math right on that one. At the start of the engagement, add a certain number of enemies from the... All right, so that's going to be equal to our blood or our health. So we're going to add 2 enemies to the deck. All right, so Mama Bear comes in. And once we defeat her, that'll be the end of the game. We have North. We need to pull more cards. This is a wild. When added to your tableau, flip all daytime enemies and then get 1 to a stat. Let's add this, but we don't really need it. We're going to pull this one, pull this one. We're looking for cards that are not really going to put up much of a fight and that are going to help us complete this. So 4, North, Undiscovered Plum Tree. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The hits of all non-boss enemies is equal to your highest stat. So we could pull one more and then decide. North. Alright, so we do have to pick an enemy. I think probably Gnome on the Range is the most chill enemy. Yeah, let's take them. Plus it's a wild, so wild, north. So we need 3 more. This is a wild also. Unshot Centaur. Elder Trolls. Assistance. Alright, so what is assistance? Gain an unused Tanglewood or Universal Hero. We did that already. I don't know if I want to do it again. It's not super helpful at this point. We're going to keep pulling. North, which we could use. Yeah, we could use the north because all our norths and souths are interchangeable. So we could use it as a north or as a south. That's going to be 4, 5. Enemy clearing. When enemy clearing is added to your tableau, add the top 2 enemy cards. Don't want to do that. And then one more, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Hatsamori has +1 for each north and south on your current map. I think we're going to, from these, I don't know, what would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. I think I'm going to choose, we're going to choose Devious Darcy. And I forgot to add coins when we added these, so I think I'm owed 8. So we're at 14. We're at 14. We got to shuffle this. We go through the deck pretty fast. Once you have strategy of 6, you're going to go through the deck pretty quickly. That was a terrible shuffle. Terrible shuffle. All right, here we go. It's because I don't want to damage the cards, or I don't want to move the cards that are out here, so I kind of like doing this a little bit gingerly, a little bit too gingerly for this We're looking for 2 more cards. All right, let's pull some cards here. This is a wild. Either exhaust 3 ready dice or discard your current map and replace it with the topmost card on the nighttime side. I really don't want to do that. Yeah, this is going to be tough. We're going to swap out the maps. We need to shuffle. So we need to shuffle these. And this is probably a bad idea, but we're going to shuffle these and take the top card because there is no top card right now. There is no... All right, so here we go. What is this? All right, so during the cleanup step, set aside the non-boss enemy in the current tableau with the highest. All right, so that's not going to really matter if we finish this level out. So let's check if we completed this. We have Wild, Wild, North. Our Norths are South, so South. Wild, Wild. We need 1 more. All right. And we add this. Yeah, so we could add this if we wanted to. We're going to add this, so it's going to be North, South, because of our ability, Lollipop Liquor, East, West, and West. So we're all set here for our engagement. We are going to bribe. We have money. We did add another card to it, so we add 2 more to our gold. We could bribe them or we could fight everybody. Let's bribe Devious Darcy. I don't like that she limits our rolling, so I'm going to pay 5 to discard them. Going down to 12. Actually, we should probably bribe them because we're going to add 2 more. So let's bribe them. I don't think we need money anymore, so we're going to bribe Wither. We're going to bribe Gnome on the range for 7. So we're down to 5? 5? And we're going to bribe them. We can't bribe anymore, but we are going to add 2. So it says at the start of the engagement, add a number of enemies from the top of the discard pile to your tableau equal to your health minus your hero's starting health. So my health right now is 4. It started at 2, so we're going to draw 2 enemies from the top of the discard. So they're going to come back. They're going to come back. Bloop. But hey, if we hadn't done that, then we probably would have to pull them from the discard pile. I did a little rules check, so I guess we do draw these 2 back because they were in the discard pile. But I think if the discard pile was empty and we were able to... So the discard pile was empty and we were asked to draw from the discard pile, we wouldn't draw anything because there's nothing there. So I kind of just wasted money. So we're going to backtrack. I mean, I don't think it matters. Yeah, we're not going to bribe them after all because they were just going to come back to us. So we're going to get our money back. So we'll get 12 back. We're at 15, so 17. All right, I think that's right. Yeah, because if we discard them at this point, we're just going to get them back because we just reshuffle the deck. All right, so here we are. This is our final tableau. I think we're going to get started here. We're not going to bribe anyone like we said because... if we do, we're just going to get them back in. We're going to do our root bomb. All right, I think that's it. So we're going to do root bomb. Come on, 1 more, just 1 for the road. 1, yes, crit! 1 crit for the road, baby. So we get to discard 1 of these guys. We're going to discard Darcy, or kill Darcy, actually. Darcy is dead. We get 5 gold plus 1 random item. So we're maxed out at 20. We're going to end up with a lot of money. We get 1 random item. Nightshade drops. We don't have room for it. We're going to get rid of the Rusty Trap. Nightshade drops. It just protects you from dying. So if your health goes to 0, you set your gold to 0 and your health back to 1. These go back in. For every enemy that has an instant or ambush action 1, 2, we get 2 dice. So we're going to do these 2. And I think that's going to be it. This is going to be the final roll, I think. We're going to roll everything. Everything gets rolled. There are no restrictions right now. Yeah, because I believe Darcy's ability stops working once she's toast. All right, we're rolling everything. This is a crit, so this is worth actually double for our health. So that's 8. That's for Mama Bear. Any other crits? No crits. Let's reroll everything. We're looking for crits right now. All right, that's a crit. This is for Wither. No more crits, but actually 1 more crit. And we're going to apply this. That's 4, And then one for you. And yeah, we'll play it safe. We'll re-roll everything here. This is our third roll. 2 crits. This is overkill, but we've done it. We have defeated these bad boys. Plus 0 gold, plus 4 gold. But our gold is maxed out. Any after effects we should be aware of? No. That is it. We have defeated the last bear. The 3 bears are toast. Mama bear, Papa bear, and baby bear. So there you have it. They are toast. Boom, 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 baby. The bear power, the power of the sweater has prevailed. There you have it, folks. We have defeated the bears. The game is over. We have done it. Thanks for joining me for this playthrough of Tanglewoods Gold. If you want to come back and watch some more of these playthroughs, hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notify button, leave a comment in the comments below, and tell me what you thought about this game. Which one's your favorite ability? Which one's your favorite item, right? Let me know that. I want to know which your favorite item is, which your favorite ability of this game is, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll see ya. Get them bears. Bye.